AI data centers devour electricity. Florida lawmakers want to make sure that soaring electricity demand doesn't drive up your power bill. Our Capitol Bureau reporter Cody Butler lays out what could be a defining fight over Florida's AI future.
AI data centers are coming to Florida using a massive amount of power. Now, state lawmakers are trying to get ahead of the impacts that these facilities could have on residents across the state.
So we thought we'd try to get ahead of the curve a little bit and put some guardrails in place.
The guardrails moved for the first time in the House Tuesday. A House committee approved a bill designed to protect Florida residents from footing the bill for these data centers. The legislation would require tech companies to pay for all utilities they use, restrict where facilities can be built, and ban non-disclosure agreements between companies and local governments. Right now, Florida has no large-scale data centers, but Representative Griffiths wants to prevent problems that other states are already facing.
We're just hearing a lot of concerns. Loudons County, Virginia has had a lot of growing pains with data centers, so we're learning off the research that they're providing us.
But tech companies argue the bill creates unfair regulations, while business groups worry about limiting economic development.
NDAs protect proprietary infrastructure planning, energy modeling, and land negotiations. Florida already provides confidentiality protections for other industries, and data centers should not be uniquely excluded.
Significantly limit where data centers can be constructed while sending the signal that Florida is less than welcoming to their siting altogether.
Florida Power and Light spokesman Andrew Sutton says the state's largest electric provider is already implementing many provisions in the bill. FPL has requirements for data centers to pay for the energy they use and the needed infrastructure, limiting impacts to current customers.
Also believe very strongly that Floridians should not pay more for electricity because of data centers.
Now, this legislation still needs voted on in both chambers before it makes it to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk. At the Florida State Capitol, I'm Cody Butler.